Webster's technical definition explains it as business of giving expert advice to people working in a professional or technical field. In other words, the act of consulting is telling a company what they should and shouldn't fix. There are many fields of consulting. In fact, the consulting can be applied to almost any structural body of people. However, industrial consulting is what we're focusing on today, primarily in the fields of management, technology, or technical services. Usually in this sector, a consultant is assigned a case in which they are assigned to maximize efficiency in at least one of these areas. Some of the major global companies include Accenture, Bain & Company, Booz Allen, Boston Consulting Group. Worldwide, consulting companies including these make up an average of $490 billion in revenue and $265 billion in the United States. The consulting revenue depends on something called corporate spending. Corporate spending is the probability of individual companies deepening on the efficiency of their operations and their ability to maintain a steady flow of business. This means for consulting, the more efficient they are helping a company become more efficient, the more revenue they will generate. Most of consulting deals with observational skills. Consultants are responsible for observing what's going on in the internal and external environment of an organization. Most consultants are data-driven, and when they are been given enough data, they want to analyze to provide an answer to a sector of a company. Here we're going to look at two examples of consulting recruitment questions to see what a consultant might have to deal with. First, what recruiting strategies have been most successful for the company? As you can see, a consultant here would be responsible to see what current technologies exist and then analyze if they provide sufficient usage to pacify the company's needs. If the technology does not do that, then the computer answered would be needed to replace with new technology. Second, what recruiting strategies have been most successful for the company? As you can see, a consultant would break down past strategies and collect data to figure out how effective recruiting procedures. After a consultant would provide the company either an improved or a new solution to find better and more effective employees. Now, to break down the demographics of consulting companies. The graph on the left shows a graph of Deloitte, and the graph on the right shows a graph of BCG. As you can see by the three graphs, that both gender, ethnic, and racial diversity are encouraged in consulting. The only unfortunate part, as it seems, is that the trend lines show that these numbers of ethnic and racial diversity increasing at a much slower rate. There are many factors that are affecting the nature of the consulting industry. First, overall, the consulting industry is rapidly booming at an annual compounded rate of 4% between 2018 and 2022. Second, the industry can become extremely volatile because of its expendable cost. If an economic turmoil happens, then consultants are first ones to be laid off, thus decreasing employee output as well. Third, customer concentration. Since most consultants focus on one industry or company, if something happens, then restructuring would be hard. Fourth, moving to a cloud-based platform would require intensive shift for consulting. This would require consultants to stay up to date with latest technology. As a result, the demand for a new type of consultants would occur and result in a shift in the industry. Fifth, consultants can adopt new technology of their own to help solve complex problems. Consultants have the option to become more adept and adaptable. Consultants need to typically have an innovative mindset to readily accept shifts in industries. So what's new? One broad concept that will almost be relevant will be innovation. Consultants will have to become more and more adaptable as companies dive into the stream of technological growth. One way consultants have to deal with this is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is replacing people, so consultants need to help organizations restructure. This is resulting in societal trend shifts as organizations are more focused on organic structure rather than previous mechanistic structures. Additionally, companies such as BCG and McKinsey are starting to expand abroad in places such as Saudi Arabia to help restructure some of their markets, including oil industry. The tools to use. Consulting requires up-to-date with all information in regards to trade and markets. Subscribing to trade journals such as Business Insider allows you to do so. Also, consumer magazines helps consultants see the latest societal trends. Newspapers are important because any shift in government or current event can cause a change in the markets, which affect consultants. Most of all, the tech industry because it is most applicable and is where more companies are transitioning now, which consultants need to keep up to date on.